What are your thoughts on the Congress hearing on UFOs? If it's all true flying saucer, I hope they come to help. Will I somehow be taxed for this? It's interesting that it's being taken seriously, but I'd want to see tangible evidence before I believe it myself. It's a cookbook. Credible high-ranking former U.S. Navy and Air Force officers testified under oath to UAP and related satellite imagery, radar data, electro-optical data and visual contact. Another intelligence official stated under oath they have retrieved crashed UAP craft with biological evidence and that defense contractors were involved. I think this needs to be investigated and pushed to get some transparency, because this is starting to sound like the scandal of all scandals. It is quite intriguing and there's a lot of on-paper credible people testifying. But the evidence isn't exactly irrefutable. Until and unless we get that solid, unquestionable evidence or a UFO lands on the White House lawn, then I think this is going to be a whole load of nothing. Sadly. More UFO hearings for this House of Representatives than climate hearings. They should have a hearing about the ocean being literally as hot as a hot tub instead. Tom DeLonge is salivating. Regardless of how this turns out, I still think butt probe insurance is a scam. IMO talk is cheap. Show me something. Anyone can lie. I'd be surprised if the whole thing wasn't a distraction from some kind of geopolitical or governmental issue tbh. It really doesn't matter what they turn out to be. We obviously have a disturbing lack of control of our airspace. Likewise, we've got massive amounts of money being stolen from the public via the military and its contractors. Whether it's aliens or Mylar balloons is frankly beyond the point. These hearings are turning up unhappy information about the state of our military. Not impressed until unmistakable visual and physical evidence is made public. They can flap at the gums all they want until then. Probably just a bunch of bullshit to distract us from more Patriot Act type bullshit. I want them to pick me up and take me off this planet. I'm willing to become a productive member of the intergalactic community. They can anal probe me all they want. Just take me with you. I think most of the gasp moments will be from people who are just super into conspiracy theories, but appear to be highly credible and convincing. There will be very little to no actual evidence other than grainy and blurry footage photos. I'm a stern believer that there's life out there. I'm not convinced the evidence for it will be found here on Earth, nor will the first evidence of extraterrestrial life be advanced enough to have made a spacecraft that can travel light years to end up here. I'm skeptical about it being aliens. It's likely just spy aircraft they don't want public. If it's real, and that's a big if, how do super advanced life forms get to Earth and crash land when they have the technology to travel massive distances conveniently only end up in the hands of governments? If it is real, but it is a man-made technology. Either America is super far ahead in technology than they act, or another superpower is. It's not great either way. X200b. We will see in what evidence comes to light during an investigation. But I'm not convinced this is an outer world species we would be dealing with. The interdimensional hypothesis just blows my freaking mind. I can sort of wrap my head around warp drives and humanoids coming from light years away. But possible dimensions we can't. No evidence. No story. Same as decades before. Paper trails don't mean much. Why don't we have universal health care? load of BS to distract everyone from real issues. We are likely a nature preserve that tourists aliens pay other aliens to go check out. As long as we stay in the nature preserve and stay out of the dumpster, they will leave us to our comically dumb existence. Kinda crazy to think that there's a Congress hearing on UFOs tbh. I doubt much will come from it, though. Only thing we actually know is that the government wants you to believe in alien spacecraft. Smoke screen. An attempt to take the public's eye off real political matters. Hey, what about them UFOs? Convenient that aliens always land on Murica face with rolling eyes. Am I the only one who thinks they might be leaning into the alien narrative to distract from whatever they were actually doing with all that money? Whether it may be unethical illegal experiments or just lining their own pockets. Aliens would be pretty cool though. It's also just out of this world. I'd love to see the GOP obsess over this and leave the trans and LGBTQ communities alone. Like, let's move on to something or someone else to yell about. Sigh. Nothing really. People hear the word UFO and immediately assume batshit insane conspiracy theories about aliens and whatnot. They started to look into it more recently, as these supposed extraterrestrials look suspiciously like spy drones of enemy nations. They're an everyday occurrence in plane and maritime circles. Most people don't really give a shit about them. UFO contains U, meaning unidentified. That is that. We don't know what it is. This doesn't mean extraterrestrials, drones, debris, other aircraft, even kites and balloons picked up by wind fall into this category. Those are not the people I want potentially first to meet the aliens, and thus representing the species as a whole. Can't we get someone else more mentally stable? Like Nick Nolte or Gary Busey? My thought is, what are they actually covering up with this smokescreen? Don't care. A government that is believed to have UFO tech is more powerful than one that actually has it. Like it has for almost 60 years. I'm not concerned. I don't think aliens exist, and if they do, I doubt they are too concerned with us. Until evidence is provided, I don't believe any of it. I'm sure there's loads of documentation, but very little if not any physical evidence. The bigger question is, why is this all coming out now? What's it trying to distract us from? It's an attempt by the US Gov to saturate the social sphere with talk of UFOs to provide cover for their advanced weapons programs, just like they've always done. Basically, what are they really trying to distract us from? Nothing of note will be said. The only way this is taken seriously is if a giant ship starts floating over the Capitol for days. Makes me wonder why they're trying to distract us so hard. What else is going on at the same time? Honestly, sounds like a distraction from the fact that the world is literally burning to shit. What climate change? Here are some aliens. Do we get health insurance? Or other social safety nets common in the rest of the world? If not, I don't care. This was an entire waste of time and money. As intended. A big nothing burger. I believe aliens, but statistically it's very hard to be discovered. The universe is only 13.5 billion years old and the Earth being 3.5 billion, we just are a bit too early. That if aliens need to find us, scanning every planet in every galaxy in that needed time frame would be looking at Earth for only 0.300 milliseconds, just a blink. Maybe they came too early or too late. Maybe we are too early for them.